It's the Tuck and Tuck Show. Brought to you by the Arb at Tappan Square. Wings, sandwiches, smoothies, and more. Oberlin Weekly. Real Oberlin stories, real Oberlin people. Prestige Detailing. Take pride in your ride. Now let's welcome the hosts of Tuck and Tuck Show, Ahmad and Khalid.
Hey, Oberlin. We're back for episode number 10. Yeah, it's number 10, man.
Okay.
I already checked it out.
This morning, we went to the Arb.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to go down there and get a great breakfast, we had a bunch of food. Well, you had way more food than I had. Like pancakes, sausage, eggs, hash browns, bagel, bacon, 2 cups of coffee, $18. You can't beat that.
Can't beat that because I had so much food. I took half of it home and fed my wife.
So if you get up on Sunday morning, Saturday morning, go down to the Arb. They have great food. Therese is awesome. The omelets are fantastic. They have a great menu down there. And they recently added chili. And the chili is great. So if you want a great meal, go down to the Arb. Check out Henry, Therese, Randy. They do a great day. They do great for the holidays. And they're one of our sponsors. So it'd be great to go down there and check them out.
Yeah, they do a all-day breakfast, actually, was what I was told. So you can get breakfast anytime.
Anytime.
And it's really worth it. You'll be full. Trust me. So the Brownies lost.
Yeah, I don't even watch them anymore. I turned it off and took a nap.
Yeah, I was watching Pawn Shop.
Yeah, but on another note, a sadder note, Yvonne Chisholm, who was on the show a couple episodes ago, she's actually going to be closing her bakery because she said it was low sales and she's still dealing with cancer. So her last day is Christmas Eve, which is Saturday, the 24th. Everybody knows that. But if you get a chance, go down there and check her out. Show her some support, show her some love. You know, she's a very special person. I'm sure she'll bounce back from this and do something else that's great because she has a lot of talent. And I'm sure this won't keep her down. So, give her a shout out. If you get a chance, go by there and help her out a little bit.
Is she still going to do her cakes on the side? I'm sure
she said she wasn't. From the post I read, she might change her mind, but when you go through chemo and surgery and radiation, that's a toll on you, and she really needs to take care of herself and get her rest, and then I'm sure she'll be fine after that.
Yeah,
so that's
so.
kind of we all hope she does great. We're all rooting her on, so I'm sure she'll bounce back and be fine.
Sounds good. What else is going on, man? You said you didn't do nothing this week? Played a little poker last night.
Yeah, you took everybody's money and left everybody broke.
I didn't really win that much.
Yeah, yeah, you did. He took everybody left out there broke. We had a great time. It was all of us, Luke, Gilbert. We all had a great time. And Gilbert, we had some Molly cakes over there. And Gilbert was eating them like Pac-Man. He had about 4 of them, man. He was smashing them.
He had quite a few, that's for sure.
But it's always a great time. Robert made a bunch of wings. They were fantastic. It's always a great time over there when people come by and see me because I'm not going to do much for Christmas. So, and Christmas is around the corner. You got any Christmas memories?
No. Zero.
No?
Zero.
You have no memories of Christmas at all?
Well, I didn't. We didn't celebrate Christmas when we were real young for a long time.
Yeah.
But no, I really. I remember always asking for a ride lawnmower because I had all that grass to cut.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, because you guys were Muslim, and then I came along and they started celebrating, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I was like the special golden child. So they're like, "Oh, we got a real good child now."
Can we cut that? Can we just cut the show right here?
It's like we have a golden child now. Let's celebrate Jesus' birthday.
1969.
Yeah, that's when y'all started celebrating.
Yeah,
that was Gladys Court, wasn't it?
Yeah. I remember when they brought you home, and me and Nikki were looking at you like, "Oh my God, what is it?" We was like, "Whose room is he going in? He's not going to my room."
That was great. I mean, I had a lot of good Christmases. I remember one year you bought me when you were working at the college. You bought me like a tank.
Oh, the programmable.
Yeah, it was programmable, and that was about 1979, 80.
Yeah,
and that was high tech for back then because you could program it to do different commands, and it would go. I don't even know what happened to that.
Did you ever learn how to use it?
Yeah, I mean, not I could use it, but at the time I was only like 10 years old,
right?
And it was kind of It wasn't too difficult, but it was a great toy. I remember Aunt Denise bought me a motorized VW Beetle one time, and you put actual oil in there and it had smoke out the back. So
I remember that.
Stuff.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
had some good stuff. I had some good toys.
You always got the good stuff, man. You're spoiled.
I'm the most. I don't want to say I'm the favorite, but
You're the spoiled child, man.
Pretty much a parent.
You still get everything.
Oh yeah, cause did you get that shirt for Father's Day? Is that Father's Day present?
No, like I said, you always get the good stuff, even now.
Yeah, cause I got LeBron's for Father's Day, and I think you got some golf shirts. And stuff.
Oh, actually, I got a pretty nice outfit, but they weren't LeBron's.
No, you didn't get it.
I didn't get no
LeBron's.
LeBron's.
You gotta ask. You gotta tell people what you want.
I always tell her to get the same thing. I'm just happy to get anything at this age, man.
Yeah, you're getting up there.
Anything I don't have to buy.
You got to start looking at like plots and stuff for yourself.
I already did that. That's a done deal. I just got to start paying for it.
Got to go talk to Ted Cowling down.
I did that a long time ago, man. I said, hey, can you pay on this stuff early?
Yeah. I mean, that actually, it takes a lot of pressure off your family if you do decide to go ahead.
Yeah, and I only got the one daughter, so,
Yeah, everything goes to one person. Well, you're still married, so.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're supposed to wrap up this segment, and our guest is here, and we'll be back in, about a minute or so?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to the Arb. Thank you. Have a great day. Come again.
Welcome back to the Tuck and Tuck Show. Today's guest is brought to you by the Arb at Tappan Square.
All right, we're back with our guest, Brittany Johnson. How are you, Brittany?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you guys having me.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see the both of you too.
Yeah.
You guys are doing big things. I see you got mugs and candy and
We're trying to sell them.
yeah. Good look at that. Don't buy too many.
Oh, I forgot who we were dealing with here.
We're glad to have you on the show. We want to talk about mostly your career, and right now you're work at the VA as a nurse practitioner, correct?
Yep.
So, what led you to becoming that? Because you started as an aide, correct? As a nurse's aide.
Yep.
That's a long journey.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so when I graduated high school, actually probably around middle school, I kind of knew I wanted to work in a career helping people. I was kind of like on the fence, like, should I be a teacher? Should I be a nurse? And then just as I, got a little older, I realized a key part of nursing is teaching, right? So a lot of what we do for our patients is a lot of teaching, whether it be their medications, their diagnosis. So then when I graduated high school, I was like, I'm pretty sure I want to do this. I didn't want to graduate school with a lot of debt. So I ended up going to LC to their nursing program. I worked at Welcome, which is a great place to work if you want to continue your education. Went on, finished at LC, then got my bachelor's from the University of Akron. And then it was my goal to get my master's to be a nurse practitioner. I wanted to do it before the kids got too older. And so I went to OU and just finished that in August.
That's awesome. I mean, we're all proud of you.
I appreciate
I'm kind of like
it.
your uncle in a way. So we're all proud of you. And when you did that, and then you went to the VA. And now, what do you do at the VA specifically?
So when I went back, I've always been really interested in mental health. I always felt like there's a critical need for mental health need across the spectrum from young kids all the way old throughout the lifespan. So that's what I focused on. So my actual title is a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So I, assess, diagnose, can prescribe, all that. So the program that I'm actually in is a 1-year program that's designed for new nurse practitioners, specifically to give you a lot of supervision and a lot of feedback. And then you transition into, we're in a department for a month and we kind of figure out, is this somewhere where we want to be? And then, hopefully everything works out to transition into that specific department after the year. So right now I'm working in the inpatient psychiatry unit there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how important is it for people to get therapy? Because this time of year, you got the holidays coming up. It's kind of dark and gloomy outside. How important is it for people to actually, if they having problems, to get into therapy?
I mean, I think therapy is one part of it. I mean, I've always been a really big advocate for mental health care, and that can look different for different people, you know. So some people can manage their mental health by doing, you know, spending time with family, getting out exercising, and some people, you know, it's, if you don't have anyone close to you that you can talk to, it's completely, you know, appropriate to reach out to someone for help. And that could be a therapist, you know, that could be a good friend, someone that you can confide in, that could be you know, whatever it is for you, praying, meditating, whatever, you know, kind of helps you through those tough times. So, you know, I've always been a big advocate for that. And it's no different to me than any kind of medical condition. So if you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, anything like that, you know, mental health is, you know, needs to be held to the same, you know, standard. And there's always been a big stigma behind it. And so we just, as people, need to look at it as, you know, same thing that we would look at it as a medical condition.
Right.
Are you dealing with a lot more young kids now as far as mental health?
Yeah, so my outpatient clinic days at the VA, that I actually got put into a clinic with a lot of young vets that have experienced military sexual trauma. So that in itself is a very difficult population to work with, because, you know, not only do you have the PTSD component and the time that they've been away, but they've experienced some significant trauma while they were there. And a lot of them even had childhood trauma. So, you know, it's a tough place to be. But I've actually feel now that I've made the most difference in my nursing career now than any other time. So I'm very blessed and fortunate to have gotten in this program. They only had 4 spots. I'm the only woman. It's very competitive. So, you know, I take a lot of pride in all the work that got me to this point, and I take, you know, my work there very seriously. So I do whatever I can to help meet their need, you know, when they're coming to see me outpatient. So it's special.
So once you go through and you talk to these people all day long, and I know it's got to be difficult for you. So how do you decompress at the end of your day? Because there's got to be a lot on you once you hear all these stories. Yeah,
it was actually like a year ago when I was doing some of my schooling at a local agency is when I was just like blown away by the amount of, you know, we were seeing kids. I mean, I think our youngest patient we were seeing was like 5 years old. So, you know, you're dealing with a lot of, you know, different things, and it can be really difficult to not take it home. But, you know, working in Cleveland, I like to listen to podcasts, and I like kind of decompress on my way home too, you know, and then like, you know, pray for the people that I'm seeing, and like, you know, that I can, you know, spend time with my family, go to their games. Those are all the things that I really enjoy, but it is really tough. And it all kind of came to a head about a year ago when I was in school, and, you know, people are coming to you with, you know, really serious, you know, things that they've experienced in their life. And it's like, man, like, am I equipped to even help you? You know, I don't even have it all together. So, you know, I just try to, you know, tell myself that, like, it's not a coincidence that I got here. It was all meant to happen this way. So I feel like I'm in the right field doing the right thing. And, you know, it's just kind of what I tell myself when I'm feeling kind of down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you said sometimes you pray on your way home. Now, some people have the idea that if you are religious, sometimes you don't need therapy.
Yeah.
And I believe you need both.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you get people to say, well, you don't need to go to therapy. You just need Jesus.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of I personally think that's kind of a cop out, because I think you can do both at the same time. You can be religious and go to church, and you can go to
100%,
therapy.
right? They're not mutually exclusive. Just like medical stuff, you can be going through, you know, cancer or, you know, kids that suffer from type 1 diabetes. You can pray that, you know, they'll be cared for and that, you know, their needs will be met, but you still go to the doctor and get treatment for it. You know, people still get chemo, they still get insulin, right? Like, they still take hypertensive medications, right? So, you know, and then you can just pray, like, okay, like, let, you know, whether it be for the doctors that are treating you, you know, whatever it is. But when I, you know, am dealing with someone that has dealt with a really rough situation, it's kind of like how I get myself through it, you know, me personally. But like I said, everyone's, you know, how everyone does their own self-care is like a big word for it. Can be different, but I do think that, you know, you can have both. They're not mutually exclusive, you know. And people that are dealing with actual conditions like schizophrenia, bipolar, you know, you need medications just like you do if you have heart failure, just like you do if you have any other medical condition. So I just think that's how we, you know, we need to like approach it.
Okay. Now, The other thing is, you said, people get medicated and some people do therapy. Now, I actually went to a therapist once, and the first thing they did to me was offer me medication.
Yeah.
I didn't think I needed the medication.
Yeah.
I think I needed just to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So if you go into a therapist's office, how do you know that that's the right person for you?
Yeah, so I think it's just like building any relationship, whether it be like a primary care physician or, even like going to see an attorney, like another example. Like if you you kind of know right off, like, is this person going to be a good fit? Like me personally, when I first meet someone for an initial intake, that's when I'm getting all the information. And actually, sometimes at that point, if someone's like in a crisis or their symptoms really aren't being managed, it can be appropriate to start them on medication. But for the most part, you want to give yourself at least a couple of visits to determine like a diagnosis, right? Like using the DSM-5, does this person meet the, but sometimes you have to start medication. But actually a lot of research shows that therapy in combination with medication is like the most effective when you're dealing with, actual diagnosed depression and bipolar disorder and things like that. So.
All right. Well,
Okay, we're going to break real quick, and then we'll be right back with you. Talk a little bit more.
Welcome back to the Tuck and Tuck Show. Today's guest is brought to you by The Arb at Tappan Square.
Okay, we're back with Brittany Johnson. Let me ask you, with this program that you're going through currently, can you go on and be an actual psychiatrist? If you go through after you finish this program, can you go and complete more schooling to be a...
Yeah, I mean, there have been nurse practitioners that have gone on and converted to like actual medical school, but I don't think that's really in the cards for me. I really, I love the nurse practitioner role and had been a nurse for 10 years. I feel like it's perfect for me. So right now, my goal is to just stay with the VA for now and kind of like see where that takes me.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, nursing is a heck of a field, and they're short. Mm-hmm. Are you thinking about actually going out to other hospitals or anything? Through a registry? No. Right now, I'm just going to stay with them, because it's a full-time position, and I'm getting this experience of each unit there. Like I said, the units last a month, so I've already been in the psychiatric emergency department. I'm in the inpatient psych unit now. Here, I'll be on consult service here in the next few weeks, and then I have my outpatient clinic days. So on certain days a week, I actually have outpatients that come and see me on my caseload. So I mean, the program is. It's top of the line, really. There's nothing more I can say than that. That's why it's so competitive and so difficult to get into, because it really is ideal for a new practicing nurse practitioner. You can't ask for anything more than working with a psychiatrist one-on-one that's, reviewing your charting and making sure, giving you feedback on your medication decisions. It's just ideal, and I'm just glad it all happened this way. What's your average caseload?
So on most days I see... The VA is they're just so patient-centered. Like the patient-centered care there is just immaculate of the workload for the providers and our caseloads, that it's great. Actually, most of my appointments, I get an hour with someone, even for follow-ups right now. So, I mean, there's just no better structure to be able to really spend an hour with someone each time they come in to see you, to get to know them and making sure you're meeting their needs. So it's more than manageable.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got all your Christmas shopping done?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I keep threatening my kids. I'm like, I haven't even gone yet. I keep telling them.
Are you one of those mothers that goes, keep it up and I'll take all your presents back?
No, actually, I'm really one of those. I try not to make empty threats, actually. So usually if I say something, I try to stick by it. But we're very fortunate. Our kids are they're just good kids all the way around. So I was thinking about on the way here. I'm like, hopefully don't ask me anything because I apologize to my kids more than I apologize to anyone in my entire life, and I think that's all stems back to mental health of like, how we raise our kids and, the way that I parent. I'm very much a gentle parenter kind of person, if that, gentle parenting, if they say, kind of goes against what you guys probably believe in.
Isn't it like the most important part of your life to have a good childhood? Yeah. Because so much stems from, if you have a bad childhood, then you just deal with it later.
Yeah. Actually, I was like on a webinar recently, I was talking about how like 98% of people in the prison system have had at least one adverse childhood experience. So like ACE prevention is like huge. So that could be like physical abuse, sexual abuse, a parent with substance abuse, a parent that's incarcerated, right? And then there's like 60-something% that have had 4 or more. So can you imagine, that's significant. So, the way we raise our kids has a significant impact on mental health and their physical health as well too. There's a lot of research that has been done that says, the ACE prevention part of it can really help prevent your kids from having mental health issues down the road or physical health issues down the road. So I take my job being a mother extremely serious. I'm not the best, but, I want my kids to feel like, that they're loved and that, we accept them for who they are. And when they make a mistake, we're still going to be here for them and kind of like guide them through the process. So I've never whooped my kids. People would probably be flabbergasted by that, but I just never have had to. And they're both, they're great kids. So.
Yeah, I mean, parenting, it doesn't come with the manual. Nobody knows. And each kid is different.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm saying, like, when I was a kid, I was really good. And Ahmad was like, he was always doing something. I was like, man, don't do that. You
just lie. What? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I only got one whooping. Yeah. It wasn't a whooping. It was a fist, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, actually, I had more than one.
And I mean, I think people think, like, just because, like, my kids still have consequences. They still have boundaries. I mean, all that stuff there is still there. I just, like, believe that explaining to them, what they were feeling at the time that they were experiencing emotion, how can you better, problem solve or manage your anger, in that situation. But, man, there's a lot of adults that can't even manage their emotions. And And they really, they harp on the kids, we want you to do this, and this, and, they have no emotional regulation. So
I think a lot of them take it out on their kids. Mm-hmm. Their emotional problems they put on their kids.
And usually when a kid is acting up, if they've experienced any of those adverse childhood experiences, it's like behavior is almost like a form of communication, right? Like maybe there's a need that's not being met. And so, we as adults need to say, like, how can I come in and intervene with this kid to make them, see things from this perspective or give them coping skills to manage, or help them deal with whatever they're dealing with in their home life. So we need the right people in right positions, the right people in mental health, the right people in education, teacher. I mean, all of it is just a foundation,
Yeah, because that becomes cyclical. Mm-hmm. Once you do it, and that's the only thing they know, then they pass it down. Yeah. And it's passed down and it's passed down. So you almost have to like break a curse or break the chain, because if not, it'll discontinue. Yeah, no, and that's why it's so important for people to go see therapists, because I mean, some people stigmatize it. I think it's lesser now than when we were coming up, because when we were coming up, people were like, well, that's, don't go see that shrink and they're going to mess with your mind and all that. But it's really not like that. And like I said, you can always change your therapist if you don't like what they're doing. Yeah. So it's not like you said, if you don't like your doctor or your attorney, you can always go to somebody else.
Yeah. And right, therapists aren't necessarily for everyone. If you grow up in a loving, supportive household and you have a close relationship with your mother or your father, and that's someone that could talk to you and give you feedback. But if you don't have that, and you can't trust maybe bad things have happened throughout your childhood and you feel like you're alone and you don't have anyone you can go to when you get older, like that can be a really good option. But I have not sought a therapist myself, but my mom and I have a very close relationship, and I give her a lot of just being there for me throughout the years, throughout my entire journey of had I not had a mother like her, that may have been something that I needed to pursue at some point, because the journey to get where I am, I mean, it was tough, and it came with a lot of ups and downs, of my own mental health struggles. And, not, like I said, I've never had to see a therapist or anything like that, but times where I just felt like I wanted to give up on school and like trying to manage working and the kids, and, so it can be tough. And, it just all depends on who you have.
I know your mom, we know her really well. Yeah. So do you think the way your mom was raised has helped her be closer to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. My mom had I don't know, you guys know, not the greatest upbringing, and so I am just full of gratitude that instead of her continuing, raising us with a lot of similarities to like how she was raised, that she was able to really,
she
be
broke
there for
the
us
curse.
and
She
care
broke
for
the
us.
cycle.
Yeah, and as parents, I'm sure she looks back and says, "Oh, like I could have done this different," but I just owe her just a lot of, how I've been able to get to where I am today. I mean, she's one of the hardest working women I know. I mean, she's just amazing. I hope to be half of her one day.
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to go to break. And when we come back, we'll probably have your daughter on the show.
Oh,
she wants to be on.
Yeah, she's over there smiling and cheesing.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
People ask me all the time, Matthew, what's Oberlin Weekly? Well, let me show you. We have a big story coming.
Real Oberlin stories, real Oberlin people. Welcome back to the Tuck and Tuck Show. Today's guest is brought to you by The Arb at Tappan Square.
All right, we're back on the Tuck and Tuck Show, and we have a special guest appearance by Maria.
Hello.
How you doing, Maria?
Good.
Feeling all right?
Yeah.
Ready for Christmas?
Yeah.
What you getting?
A lot of stuff.
You think you are?
Yeah.
We're going to change all that because I know how bad you are.
I'm not bad.
I know how you treat me over your grandmother's house.
No.
Yeah,
At least you don't have a nickname like him.
Yeah, I know. I heard it.
You call people names?
Yeah, you.
What do you call me?
But please.
But why would you? I mean, Santa Claus don't like that.
I don't know where it came from. It just
Your brother, I think.
No,
Yeah.
she made that up. It's not nice to call names. You know that.
no.
So, what grade are you in?
5th.
Fifth. Do you play any sports?
Yes.
Can you give more than one word answers?
Okay.
So, what do you? What sport do you play?
Basketball and travel softball.
I heard you're pretty good at softball.
Yeah.
You're a pitcher, right?
Yes.
What's your favorite pitch to throw?
I only know fastball and changeup. So
Yeah, your mom was pretty good. You got some pretty big shoes to fill.
yeah.
She had a basketball game this morning. She did really good. She had 9 out of their 11 points. She did great.
Yep.
Wow, yeah,
9 of the 11 points?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty
Who else
good.
is on your team?
Yeah, that's.
She just,
Did you
just
guys
works
win?
hard.
Did you win?
No.
Oh,
No.
who'd you play?
What was it called?
Columbia.
Columbia.
Columbia. You do good in school. You smart.
Yes.
You straight A's.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
You don't look at your grade card?
No.
They don't get they don't have like A's and B's yet.
Oh,
They'll
you
start
guys are
next
still
year,
getting that
so-
unsatisfactory,
They
satisfactory,
get
and
like numbers and stuff. So
Yeah.
You got a
Start next
favorite?
year.
You got a favorite subject?
None.
No.
I don't like any.
Any?
Yeah, social studies.
Okay. Hey, I need you to do me a favor.
Yes.
Now, your grandmother, she won't come on our show.
Why? I'll go on with her.
Yeah, could you? When you go see your grandmother, you tell her, you say, "Look, it's not that bad. It's easy to do."
easy
Yeah.
peasy.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
11. And you're only 11 years old, and you can do
Yeah.
the show. It's not hard.
Mhm.
Yeah, we want her on the show really bad. She's like the number one person we want on the show, and we could never get her to come on.
Well, she needs to.
Yeah, see? So
See? Now you
when
can tell her that.
the one thing I know about grandkids, they can get grandma to do almost anything.
Yeah, especially when it comes to making her give me like her cupcakes and cookies.
Yeah, she makes the best cupcakes, don't she?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they're
They're
awesome.
very, very good.
What's your favorite one?
I don't really have one. They're all
They're all
I
good,
like
ain't
'em
they?
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. You can
Well-
tell, huh?
red velvet. I like red velvet.
What about the carrot? You
No.
don't like the carrot one?
German
No.
chocolate?
No.
that's my favorite.
mine
I'm
too.
getting a
German
big
chocolate
carrot
is
cake
my
tomorrow.
favorite.
Oh, that's right. You got a
No.
birthday
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh,
that's
it is your
right.
birth- You know what?
Yeah.
We
She'll
got
be
something
48.
for you.
Yeah, I'll be 34, Maria. Thank you.
We got some stuff for your birthday.
Oh, I can't wait to see what it is. Hopefully, it's
What do
something
you
good.
mean?
What do you
We
mean?
got some stuff.
Oh, that's so nice.
We got come. You can come in.
She don't want to come on
Grab
camera.
the stuff. Thank you.
Oh, Oh, that's so sweet.
Your mom made you show what your mom got you.
Oh.
And we got you some flowers.
Well, I'm glad I said really nice things about her, huh?
Yeah, that wouldn't look too good.
That's really nice.
Now the flowers are from us, from the Tuck and Tuck show, and
you guys are so sweet.
Those are from your mother. She owns the Molly cakes.
Yeah, she's the best.
There's a lot of chocolate chip cookies in there.
I'll share with you guys.
That's what
and me.
I'll share with you guys.
That's what we were aiming
I'll
for,
I'll
sharing.
share with all of you.
So your husband was on here, and he has the most views, I think, of all time.
Yeah,
Ain't that right, Matt?
Yep.
So I don't know.
We need more.
I don't know if you can top that or not.
I don't know.
He's
got an important job, so.
Yeah.
But I am kind of the brains behind a lot of the stuff
yours
that
is
happens.
important.
Yeah, I give him a lot of a lot of stuff we're talking about here, and a lot of situations of, just dealing with some of the students and his experience as a dean of students, like the mental health part of it. So, it's good. I think he's in the right place of, seeing how far we've worked to really get to where we wanted to be. So,
You guys
I'm glad that it worked out.
You guys are doing a great job, both of you, and you and Isaiah too.
Yeah. We're really, really blessed.
You are very much so.
Yeah.
Is your mom mean sometimes?
Don't answer. I see that look. Don't answer. Just say no. Just say no.
Christmas is coming. Be careful.
She can tell the truth.
No.
When I have to be.
Okay.
I'm firm when I have to be.
That's not being mean. That's just
nope.
looking
But you
out
can
for
ask
you.
her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So I seen Oberlin. They played the other night. They beat Wellington pretty bad.
Yeah. No, they played good. They played good.
And
it was a good game. I was there.
I keep telling people, like I actually coach with the present coach, Coach Payne, and people say, well, he doesn't run a lot of offense. And I said, listen, Coach Payne will make you play defense all day long, and eventually he will install offense. But he wants you to learn those defensive principles, and then he'll implement those later. I think he's going to do a great job.
Yeah.
He's a little old school, but I think sometimes kids need to. But he does love the kids. He does love them.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. I used to do the books back for our middle school games when he coached at the middle school, and I think they won conference. I don't know if they won both years, but yeah, I think it's,
But your husband has a tough job up there. Like when we talked to him earlier, we told him, the parents, it's going to be your toughest problem.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we did that.
I mean, what you hope to get them bought into the program and like your vision. I think as long as you have a vision and, kind of like how are we going to get to that point, getting kind of like your stakeholders, the people in the community and the people that can help and the local business, getting everyone involved to say, okay, we identify these issues, but there's a lot of people that talk a lot about the negative things, but they don't really get involved. So, if you're one of those people, I encourage you to get involved in what's happening in the community and at the schools. Whether it be like coaching a youth sport or, joining the boosters, whatever it is. So I think the more people we have doing that, the better.
So how do you go about joining like the booster club? Because I've never known how you do that.
Yeah, so they just open up the meetings. I mean, I think you can just come to, I think they meet monthly. I haven't had the opportunity to go to any of the meetings yet, but now that I'm done with school and like and I've transitioned to the program, I plan to, but like we're doing now, helped with the youth softball camp. There was a youth baseball camp. There's a lot of good things happening in the youth sports in Oberlin now than there's, been in a very long time. So.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you really love your daughter because she got braces and you supported that by getting some too.
Dental insurance, right? Like
this is my
had to get these
second time getting braces.
She had her first phase, and so
you got a good mom because my dad told me no. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. We had a great time with both of you. You were great. You did a great job. And
thank you.
And Brittany, you were excellent, of course.
I appreciate you guys so much for having me. If anyone is struggling with any mental health, anything that I can do, in July they started the 988 number. So it's kind of like 911, but it's for like, suicide prevention and things like that. So, I mean, there is a lot of good resources out here, even in Lorain County. So if you're someone that's struggling or someone that is, reach out to me or anyone, in the area that could help. There's a lot of services. So
if you're out there struggling, especially this time of year, get help, please. Yeah. I mean, I know I need help, but that's a whole bigger problem.
Yeah.
So, but if you are struggling, it is important to seek therapy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep. Please do. And with that, we'd like to thank the ARB. We'd like to thank Prestige Detailing and Oberlin Weekly. We're going to see you next time.
Next time on Tuck and Tuck.